TCU football was picked to finish 7th in the Big 12's preseason media poll. Shows what the media knows. 8 games later, the Horned Frogs are first in the conference, ranked 7th in the nation with a perfect 8-0 record. Nobody personifies TCU's surprising season so far quite like Max Duggan, the backup quarterback turned Heisman contender. If you could sum up your TCU football journey in one word, what would it be?
Eventful. What's it been like persevering through some of the not so fun eventful parts?
Yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs in my career and the last 4 years, but I've really kind of learned about myself, and I think those are things that will help me for the rest of my life.
This fall has been all up for Max Duggan. TCU is 8-0, ranked 7th in the nation. It's a crazy twist in a football story that looked like it might be over in the summer of 2020.
You got COVID in July. Then what happened?
Yeah, so I get COVID, and you go through all the heart examinations and tests just for precautionary for student athletes to get back into the game. I did an EKG, and then I found out that I had a heart condition since birth called Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome.
They tell you something's not totally normal about your heart. Your first reaction is what?
Yeah, your first reaction is just, maybe, your life is changing. First of all, football might be taken away, but, there might be, other implications that might really impact my life.
Duggan underwent a successful 9-hour procedure, returning in time for the season opener. He would wind up starting at QB for TCU his first 3 seasons, but the Horned Frogs struggled, going just 16-18. At the end of 2021, legendary head coach Gary Patterson resigned after 22 seasons.
You're the quarterback of that team. I have to imagine that hits you hard, feeling some kind of responsibility.
Yeah, and it did. Having a coach like Coach Patterson, leave a place that he built up here and being the quarterback, you feel responsible.
When former SMU coach Sonny Dykes took over as TCU's new head coach, he reopened the quarterback competition and eventually named Chandler Morris the new starter over Max. Some players would have decided to transfer, but not Duggan.
I understood it. I understood the situation and the decision. My dad was a coach for 30 years, and I know those hard decisions come with the job.
People would have, I think, understood if you did transfer because, hey, you've been a starter. Maybe you want to play in the pros. You go somewhere else, you get that chance. You were clearly ready to sit behind Chandler and watch for the rest of the year. Why?
Yeah. It was a place that I wanted to be at. I wanted to be at TCU, and that was with whatever role that I had. Obviously, you want to play, but the decision was made, and I understood that my role was to be the best backup quarterback I could, and I knew that was going to help the team. And, we haven't won in the last 3 years here, and I wanted to be here at TCU when we were winning. So whatever I could do to help that, whether I was being the starting quarterback or, hand out water on the sidelines, I want to be a part of it.
It didn't take long for Max to get his break. Morris got hurt in TCU's season opener.
Looks to throw.
Duggan got the start for week 2 and set career highs with 390 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. The following week, Max led TCU to a win over SMU, Dykes' old team. Afterwards, Dykes teared up, talking about Duggan's character.
Incredibly indebted, incredibly proud, kind of emotional about it, honestly, just because I think he's, he's the way you want your son to handle that situation. That's about as good a compliment, I think, as you can give somebody.
Seeing that video, I think it just showed what type of man Coach Dykes is, how he treats his players, how he treats the people in this program, because I think people outside this program may not get to see that side of Coach Dykes, but he's a great man. He puts a lot of confidence in us, and he'd do anything for his players.
Sticking with TCU has paid off on the field for Max, and there's no question Duggan could collect a nice payday for his efforts, given the new college athletics landscape that allows athletes to profit off of their name, image, and likeness.
Do you have an NIL agent?
No, I do not.
Have you made any NIL money?
I haven't really put too much effort or focus into the NIL things.
I saw on some website, and I don't know how credible it is, but something like your value from the summer has gone up from like $37,000 in NIL value to like $460,000, something like that. Why not go more into that? What's your reasoning behind that?
You know, I think just right now in college athletics, there's a lot of guys that, you know, think it's important to them, and it may be. Just right now, I guess I'm not really too focused in on it. I want to be focused on trying to play as best I can, being the best college football player I can, trying to help this team win, getting a degree, and seeing kind of what happens with the future.
Duggan's name is rightfully starting to show up on Heisman Trophy odds lists. Max isn't the favorite, despite 22 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. But if he keeps TCU undefeated, Duggan could become the Horned Frogs' first Heisman finalist since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2000.
You always wanted as a kid to, you know, be in that position, and right now you're grateful that people are talking about it, but it really doesn't mean anything at this point, and you really don't focus on it because we really haven't done anything so far in the season.
Can you imagine, though, what that experience would be like to be one of the finalists sitting there in New York?
That would mean that we probably had a pretty good season and we won a lot of games, so that's what I'm hoping for.
This is a career-changing kind of season that you're having. Do you dream about playing at the next level?
Yeah, I think you always dream about playing at the next level, and if you are given that opportunity to take it and you know, do whatever you can to make the most of it. And I think that really all depends on you playing your best ball in college, and I think that's what, you know, I'm focused on.
Everything is in front of Max Duggan and the Horned Frogs right now. Winning a Big 12 title game, punching the school's first trip to the college football playoff, and completing an unbeaten season. Whether Max Duggan wins the Heisman or not, there may not be a better story in the country this year than the one belonging to TCU's quarterback.
Knowing that there's going to be a lot of hardships and there's going to be things that aren't going to go your way in your career, you know, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, you know, with the ups and downs.
What a story he is. Duggan and the Horned Frogs go for 9-0 in Fort Worth Saturday morning right here on Fox 4 as number 7 TCU hosts Texas Tech. Kickoff at 11, but you're invited to come to the Kelly Lawn at 8 a.m. before Big Noon Kickoff gets rolling at 9 with all the pregame coverage.